Are you getting a little nostalgic for the altitudes we're seeing in crypto? Well, so am I, and here we are now. Joining us now to discuss the crypto markets is Dexterity Capital Managing Partner, Michael Safai. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, thanks for having me on again.
I'm glad to see you again. So Ether is above 2,000, playing around the 2,100 mark even. What happened? What happened to the Chappelle sell-off? There was supposed to be a Chappelle sell-off. We never saw it. We got a rally. Why? Did the market price everything?
I think it was, we've seen these kind of things before where LaMerge, for example, happened last year, and everyone was kind of sitting on the sidelines in the hours and days before it happened, and after, and once it all was all clear, everyone got back into the market. We saw Bitcoin take off during that period of quiet while Chappelle was happening, and as soon as everyone felt safe again, they just bought up. It was just lagging behind the BTC price. So that's why we're seeing a rally when we might have expected otherwise.
Yeah, we're also seeing in the derivatives markets, we're seeing options in Ether taking off. And in some cases, actually, it looks like in 2023, according to Levitus, we have basically more trading in Ether options than we do in Bitcoin options. What does that tell us, first of all, about where the market wants to see some of that volatility and some of the trading action? Are we going to see more of it happen in ETH, or do you think that ultimately it'll go back to Bitcoin as that goes up above? Now we're at 30,000, close to 31,000. Where do you think the majority of the flows that will happen, particularly in derivatives, but also in the spot markets? Where are we going to see it in the next few months?
Well, Bitcoin's kind of the boring old grandpa right now in the room. With all the chaos, with all the investigations, nobody's talking about Bitcoin having a problem. And part of it is it's by its nature a stable thing. It doesn't change. It doesn't have new upgrades every few months. So there's not really a lot to get excited about if you want to speculate on volatility. However, Ether, a lot of things are happening. The rules of the game have just changed again, and this gets people excited about maybe there's potential here to lay a bet. So that's why I think we're seeing more activity on the options side, and I expect that to continue.
So we're hearing cries of alt season out in the markets, people getting excited again. I think there's two things kind of going on, right? Sort of these Ethereum adjacent tokens that are sort of related to liquid staking derivatives are certainly pumping. But I guess the other side of that coin is that maybe the alt L1 thesis is looking less and less attractive as Ethereum keeps shipping these major upgrades. What's your view of the impending alt season, and what is your thesis in terms of who might be a winner and who might be a loser going forward?
Well, I think people in crypto love a new story and they love a new narrative. And that's what Ether keeps giving them. So when they look at these LSDs and other new products, that's very exciting. If you remember the 2021 bull run, that was driven by a lot of new products, new lending protocols, new ways to have concentrated liquidity on decentralized exchanges. And people got excited about it. Same thing with those alternative L1s. But they're kind of old news now. And unfortunately, Solana, which was one of the leaders in that bull run, kind of has the taint now of the FTX problem. So people are looking for something new, and that's what they're looking at now. Go on, please.
You're not going to go all in on Cardano and Solana?
No, we're market neutral. We don't go all in on anything. We're just confident in our strategies.
Should I go all in on Cardano?
Oh, God, I'm not going to tell you that on the air, at least.
Okay.
We'll talk after.
Yeah, but to that point, I mean, how do you think this is going to look like over the next few months as well? To Zach's point, the L1 narratives are kind of fading away. But are we still going to see these? There's a word I can't use on a family-friendly program, but I don't know, hit coins. Are we going to see these like continue to pop up and have these sort of things? That's over, right? We're done with that, or that's just going to be the result of chain emails that I'm going to get and creepy Discord and Telegram messages from scammers?
Well, I think excitement about altcoins comes from different factors in the larger economy and what's happening in crypto. Again, we've seen a bunch of cycles. We look back to the last one. Lots of things are happening. COVID was one of these ones where people were stuck indoors and they started buying a bunch of coins. This happened as new products were occurring. And so that really led to the next boom. We're not so sure what's going to happen to bring on the next boom in alts. But, we have Reuters reporting on Goldman Sachs saying that they don't see a Fed raise coming in June anymore. And that's actually good news for crypto. People might get excited about it again, and that might be the hot new stuff that gets you a bunch of scam emails.
All right. Speaking of another S-coin, stablecoins, a little less spicy. Sorry, guys. You guys had a thesis recently about sort of capital rotating out of stablecoins, where we saw a lot of this risky craziness that was going on in the markets, a lot of consternation as to whether some of these dollar-backed stablecoins would hold their peg. And some of that capital, at least you're theorizing, seems to have shifted into Bitcoin. Can you unpack that theory a bit and see if there's any new data that supports or rebuffs it?
You know, it's interesting. Two things happened at once. Number one, we saw the problem with Circle occur. And number two, we saw the banking crisis. So people who previously had access to fiat dollars might not anymore, as Ron was talking about in the earlier segment. That's one big factor. So the other factor is, well, Circle looks a little shaky right now with what happened. Seems fine today, but we don't know what the future holds. And then you've got Tether, the other big player in the room, which Ron also mentioned, which, you know, gives some people a bit of nerves. So if you're want to hold crypto, you want to hold digital assets, and you can no longer put it in a fiat off-ramp, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to buy the granddaddy. You're going to buy Bitcoin because that's safe, that's lasted for a long time. Yes, it's volatile, but you can trust it to be there tomorrow and not suddenly depeg 10% like USDC did.
Gotcha. Last one, we'll go back to the original S-coin of the S-coins, Dogecoin in the markets, seeing some activity recently.
That's not an S-coin.
Continued fascination with Elon Musk's love of this thing, and also a major tie-up between Twitter and eToro to offer trading directly on that social media platform. What's your thought on this latest little Dogecoin run?
We've seen it before, and it's going to keep happening. You know, there's a bunch of savvy traders out there that know there's a clear correlation between Twitter or Elon saying something about Doge and the price mooning. And that's exactly what we saw again. He changes the logo from the bird to Doge for a few days. They do this deal with eToro. People want to make money, and they get excited, and they see that as a signal that worked in the past, and it's working again.
Thank you for that measured analysis on Dogecoin. We appreciate you bringing that level of intellectual rigor to something so very silly. All right, that's it. Thanks so much. That was Dexterity Capital's managing partner, Michael Safai.